Oh, those scary ugly toes are back. It's awful. People always comment asking how anyone lives with them, specifically about these feet, even though for me these are probably the most favorite feet because they belong to my close friend. So let's start the pedicure. I'll be using a cleansing foam. I have one from Domix and it's a really great solution for cleaning feet without water. Apply it to the toes, then wipe off with a napkin. Next, let's start the removal process. I'm using the Dr. Alex machine. It has up to 50,000 RPM, but I actually work at a low speed, especially for pedicures, no more than 18,000 RPM. And it's very important to work with the drill not from the cuticle to the free edge, but with smoothing motions. For me, I go right to left since I'm right-handed. If you're left-handed, go the other way. This way you won't file off too much of the nail plate thickness. Here I want to draw your attention to the second toe, which is longer than all the others, and because of this it ended up taking on the deformation. Well, that's just how it happened during use. And the little pinky, which I'll be showing at every stage until the end. It's so tiny and we'll definitely paint it. And on the big toe we'll have nail films. But for now I'll take the nippers, which I sent for sharpening right after this job, because apparently I was picking something off with them. So, as you can see, the tip got a little damaged, but it's not a big deal. It's all fixable. I just need to have them resharpened. Actually, these were originally nippers for ingrown nails, the specialty ones I usually work with, but unfortunately sometimes I experiment with different things, and the nippers don't always survive after that. Next, we push back the cuticle. There was an awkward moment here when I didn't have a clean pusher, so I used an orange stick. I've already mentioned that I don't really like working with an orange stick on the cuticle because it always gets a bit frayed. There are always some burrs in general, it's not my favorite. But oh well, it's done. Next, let's take some talc. In my case, it's Potastop talc powder, also from Domex, and I use it not only for pedicures, by the way, but also for manicures. Actually, it's meant for sweaty feet, but it's just as great to use on the skin, and it has an amazing bonus that I absolutely love. From the very first second I touched this powder, I noticed a very pleasant, light, subtle scent of menthol. And it really does contain this menthol fragrance, or maybe even menthol itself. I'm not very knowledgeable about chemistry, and I don't need to be. I'm a manicurist, not a chemist. So in general, if someone is bothered by the problem of odor or a client's damp, sweaty feet, because I see a lot of comments and notes about this, people are really concerned and interested. So if this really bothers you that much, then this kind of talc Potastop will help you. It will easily solve all these issues. It will have a very pleasant scent, and most importantly, it will dry your skin really well. It's really meant for home care, yes, so that your feet don't sweat. For example, I have a problem with sweaty feet, and I gladly use a product like this. But it can also be used as an alternative to regular talc for manicures, which I think almost everyone uses nowadays. It dries well, and you can clearly see what you're working with. In this case, I'm working with skin thickening in the sidewall, and a bit later I'll show you why this happens. Well, obviously it's because of the pressure. I'll actually demonstrate how the toes get squeezed in the shoe, and as a result we get this unpleasant outcome in the form of a callus in the sidewall. And also, if you pay attention now, you'll notice that there are these unpleasant little ragged bits all along the sidewalls. Right now I'm trying to clean everything out of the side grooves with a coarse bit with a blue band, but here it's important to understand that it's crucial to stop at the right time. Our skin is moist, slightly rubbery, but even so, there's always a chance of overdoing it and rubbing it too much. And you need to be aware that if the reason why you get calluses, corns, all these rough patches isn't addressed, no matter how much you file them down, everything will absolutely go back to how it was in the beginning. And that's normal, because if the pressure continues to be on the same area of skin, the skin will keep protecting itself. It will keep building up, it will keep getting rougher, and it will just be a vicious cycle, and you'll start to think that, well, fate is just not on your side. Of course, first and foremost, you need to eliminate the cause. And even though these are my friend's feet, the fact is that quite often, well, not every time, yes, but quite often I end up doing her pedicure. I try to do it as much as possible within my free time. After all, she wears whatever shoes she wants because she probably knows that everything will be fine anyway. Yes, that I'll clean everything up anyway. So for now, I haven't even been able to get her to agree to stop wearing heels, narrow boots, and so on. And about our little corn here on the side, I just sprayed it with antiseptic. Look, I filed it, I drilled it, and I keep doing it because even though you can't really see it on camera, in real life it's quite noticeable that the thickening is still there and it's pretty deep. I would even say that this corn is closer to a corn with a core, meaning it goes inward with its root into the nail fold. But there's another thing, this corn mostly bothers only me. When I squeeze the nail fold and ask her, she doesn't feel any discomfort. She walks just fine, everything is good, she doesn't even notice it at all. She doesn't have any problems from it, so basically it's more my problem and I'm the one who worries about it more. And in theory, well, you don't need to treat or pick at something that doesn't hurt. So, well, I filed it down, removed some of it, realized that if I kept going just a little more, there would be a hole and it would be better to just leave it as it is. And as you can see, the skin is quite thin. By the way, I want to say that it doesn't really respond well to buffing there. You can see that it's kind of slightly reddish. It's most noticeable on the second toe. And now, as I promised, I'm showing you how this pressure happens. See, I'm squeezing the foot into a narrow shoe, basically imitating the pointed toe of a pump. The foot is narrow, it keeps sliding forward, and the second toe, which is longer, gets crumpled just like I showed, so that's basically how it happens in shoes. And it's absolutely no surprise that there are problems in the nail grooves, that there's this kind of callus, either a core one or some kind of periungual one. So, as long as all this is happening with my feet, I'll keep diligently cleaning off these little dry patches. Now we're moving on to the coating. I applied a thin layer of elastic base to all nails as a foundation, since we'll be using nail wraps. I have some leftover Revnov nail wraps here. Well, some of them worked, some are left, but we decided to make one toe pink. Yes, I lost one sticker. So we've applied the base coat and cured it. Now I'm going to apply the wrap, and I want to explain right away why I'm applying it specifically here on the base coat. Usually I recommend applying wraps on clear nail polish that just air dries. For example, Domix has some, and IQ Beauty has good regular polishes as well. I can definitely recommend them too. But in this case, we're working with a gel polish base in a thin, not rubbed in, but just a reasonably thin layer. Why? Because our nails are thin, they're flexible. And it's quite difficult to apply the film on such nails. I need a denser base. That's why, using a gel polish base, I slightly strengthen the nail plate. These nails don't tend to become ingrown. There are no unpleasant sensations here. Basically, gel polish is not contraindicated in this case. In our case, applying the film is a solution for decorative coating, that is, we want to use the film. The plan was to do a Pink Panther design. Now, just to get ahead of myself, I'll say right away, there will be very little left of the panther, because the film is only available in a large size. Our toe is smaller, and now you can see how I'm trimming it. And notice that I'm trimming a separately cut piece of film. Why am I doing it this way? I'm showing you an option in case you don't have a ruler on hand, like I didn't. So I went, picked out the film we needed, brought it, and realized that I would have to apply this film using this technique. Because right now I'm not going back to the sticker album to get a ruler. That's why I showed you how I trim it another way. That method works too. We've removed the tackiness from the base. This matters for adhesion. No sticker will stick otherwise. And then we lay out this film together. I aligned it on one side so that it fits exactly there, so that everything sits comfortably. And I carefully stick it in the middle, and with the dry and clean orange stick, I carefully smooth it out along one side of the nail plate. Because on the other side, as you'll see in a moment, it naturally won't fit. No matter how much you trim it, it still won't fit perfectly. Of course, it's one thing with a natural tip and a completely different story when you're trimming and fitting it like this. But that's okay. We take scissors and remove the excess width, so we carefully cut it straight. The only thing is, I do cheat a little along the sidewalls and use scissors for the cuticle. S04J from Nippon Nippers, I really love doing manicures with them because they fit perfectly into the sidewalls, but I also noticed they have another unexpected advantage. They fit perfectly along the sidewalls for trimming the nail wraps, that's really true. Because the hardest part is this little corner that needs to be rounded off properly and carefully, and these scissors fit in there just perfectly for me, like a knife through butter. Next, after we've laid out the nail wrap along the free edge, we need to slightly define the edge. The main thing is not to stretch the wrap so it doesn't bunch back up. and then file the nail wrap with a super fine grit. In my case, it's a 320 grit if I'm not mistaken. I think that's right. 320 grit thin without any padding. And when you have such a fine grit, specifically this one, it's very convenient to file the nail wraps with it. As you can see, I'm not doing it in any particular direction. It doesn't fray anything, just back and forth, and it's filed. Next, I'm showing you the polish. We took the polish from Yemen because this particular shade matched our film perfectly. And I'm showing how I apply it to the little toe. Of course, the brush hardly fits there. So I helped myself with a thin brush and we cover it all with top coat. I applied the polish in 2 super thin layers, as if I felt sorry to use it. And at the end, I'll show you what thickness of coating I got. We also cover the film itself with top coat. Here I'm using Yemen's scratch-free top coat, which is considered kind of scratch resistant. It self-heals and you don't get those little scratches on it. I apply a super thin layer of top coat, cure everything, and then it's time for filing. As you can see, my free edge is uneven, and it's the same on all the other nails too. Because I didn't file it at the beginning, since I just don't see the point in wasting time on that at first when we're going to do it at the end anyway. Because when we file after the top coat, we get a very clean and beautiful edge. While I'm filing, I'll tell you about the shape. The shape here, well, I usually call it anatomical. So what does that mean? There's a slight smile line, but you can still see the corners. So I don't cut the corners in too deep. I can round off the free edge, but the little corners will definitely still be visible. We'll file the little one too. There's no reason to skip it. It's just fine. Next, we apply the foam again, just to remove the dust and get rid of all that unsightly stuff. And now we can already assess the appearance of our pedicure. Let's take a look at the edge. Well, the hole from the cone that I drilled out as I expected is still there. By the way, it's all fine, nothing got inflamed, nobody died, nothing got infected, everything is okay. Next, let's look at the edges of the other nails. Everything is super thin. I mean, I don't even know what's thinner here, the gel polish or the film coating. You be the judge, let me know in the comments. By the way, I know that her nail plate is deformed, this toe is constantly being pressed in her shoes. It's a long story, but that's just how it is, and it doesn't go away. It's something we have and live with. Everything turned out delicate and looks nice. We've been working with this technique for a long time. I saw the unevenness on the second toe, well, now you have to live with it just like I do. That's it, the nails are ready to go out, everyone's happy, and my friend is satisfied. As always, I'm waiting for your comments. Let's see how it goes this time.